Namaste, my dear friends. And today's video I want to dedicate to quite a very interesting, and I would say it's complex, and at the same time a very present topic for all of us. And here, that level of knowledge, this is the work that we usually do on the course and in private sessions that often I help people to integrate subpersonalities. The integration of a subpersonality. Yeah. Before I'll jump to this topic, I want to ask you: do you know what is a subpersonality? Do you know your personal subpersonalities? Do you know how they're being formed? How do they get control over you? How majority of people are not living their lives, but actually living the lives of their subpersonalities? Have you ever jumped into this interesting and quite a scary topic? Because the majority of people are not controlling the avatars. Did you know that? The majority of people are just sleeping and under the control of their subpersonalities. But who is a subpersonality? How to let go of it? These are the topics and things which, it takes a lot of time to explain it, but I want to see with this video on how much this topic is interesting. So I would like to get your feedbacks in the comments on the topic that I will share right now. And please tell me, how much do you know about your subpersonalities? So this will be very short, but I'll give you just the general understanding and the skeleton of the structure. So our body and our avatar are genius. They live and we adapt to everything that happens in our life. So there comes a point and moment, especially when we're small and we're growing up, that we would have stressful situations. Stressful situations are absolutely different. As for grown-ups, we think that that's a simple situation. For us as children, can be very stressful. For example, it's a very spread out topic in many Western cultures. It's, for example, that the parents would be shouting on each other. So when we're small, let's try to remember, and we're for the first time are hearing that our parents are shouting on each other. It creates a big fear inside of the soul and inside of the mind of the child. The child, until the age usually of 5, 6, thinks that everything around what is happening with him in the reality, it's actually connected fully with the child. So as children, we think that the whole world is interconnected with us, and anybody who reacts, talks, or does, it's connected with us. So when the parents are having a loud talk between each other or shouting on each other, then of course inside of the child's mind comes a fear that it's definitely about me. They're definitely having a quarrel about me. So, and once the child has this thought, the second thought is that, if parents are angry on me, maybe they want to let go of me and they want to get rid of me. And that's when the first time a child can experience the fear of death, because the imagination and the understanding that the parents are right now having a quarrel and they will throw away the child from the family creates a fundamental basic fear. How to overcome this fear for a child that is, let's say, 4 or 5 years old, it's hard to imagine. So for that, nature has created, or God has created, a very interesting way how our consciousness works. So our consciousness can actually divide itself, and it can actually multiply itself in many times. So when a critical situation comes and the child sees how the parents are shouting, boom, boom, part of the consciousness it hides, and part of the consciousness goes out and tries to solve this issue, tries to solve this problem. Of course, the child doesn't know what to do, so he just comes and tries anything what comes to his mind. He would just come to the parents, he will start to hug them, he will start to cry, he will start to make them happy. So he will try to best to synchronize the parents so that they would stop shouting. Is that a responsibility of a child? No. But eventually, this child has experienced that when there's shouting between people, that he gets scared that these people are feeling, let's say, angry towards him or her. So this reaction, which is connected with parents shouting and feeling bad, and that he has to go and help. Now, this sequence, this subpersonality has been formed. So this subpersonality has been formed on a specific age, let's say age 4 or 5. It has developed towards a situation when people are shouting, and eventually this subpersonality understood that to solve this problem, it needs to go and to help others. And this subpersonality does it, child did it, so not to be afraid by him or herself. So the child did that so he and she would feel themselves good. So now this person grows up and he goes to school, or he goes to university, or he goes to work, and then he has their colleagues. And the colleagues are people starting to shout at each other, or somebody starts to feel sad, somebody starts to cry, somebody is having some stomach pain. So this person, once he is in this situation and the trigger happens, that subpersonality which was formed at the age of 4 or 5, it comes out. And it continues to play its game. It always has coming out by that person at those moments when the, let's say, the situation repeated. This anchor brings out that subpersonality. It takes control over the physical body of the person, and the person will start to act very strange. What means to act very strange? That, for example, he would be a grown-up man, fundamental, strong, confident, and then one of the sudden, he would become all this emotional, and he will start, for example, to shout, or he would have fear reaction, or he would try to avoid, and he would start, acting not normal. Means that the person is acting childish. Something is happening and the person cannot act in his whole potential strong way. He loses control. He loses physical energy, he gets very emotional, and he gets a mental pattern that he starts to repeat, or it runs in the head all the time. And the person doesn't know what to do, how to get out of this character. And many people have already learned to think that this is who they are. But then when the subpersonality goes away, the person comes back and thinks, whoa, did I really say those things? Did I really act it so shitty? Or I want love, but why I told them that I hate them and I don't want to see them? So you understand that on a conscious level, we want, for example, connection. But the subpersonality comes out on the trigger and it creates destruction. So we want to be close, but actually the subpersonality pushes everybody away. We want some love, but practically when somebody gives us love, we tell them, like, piss off, go away, I don't want to have you. And as a result, we have this, conflict that on a conscious level, we want one thing, but in a practical way, we're showing and acting on absolutely the opposite thing. You know it? Well, congratulations. Now you're starting to understand what is a subpersonality. And every person can have many subpersonalities. Shamans especially. So I'll just inspire you. Some people are showing that, let's say they have, that they feel constantly present, maybe 3 subpersonalities. Some have constantly about 8 or 12. Let's say generally, I would say there's maybe about 12 main subpersonalities that people have. For myself, I have integrated already over 100 of subpersonalities. There are actually much more, but I won't go into that topic. This is just the understanding that, for you information, that subpersonality is something normal. You and I, we have them. They're the ones that are getting control over us from time to time. They're the ones that conquer and dominate our avatar, make us act in ways that sometimes we feel it's well, let's say, the it doesn't reflect our values and the things that we actually want in life. So if this rings a bell, then please share in the comments. Share a story when you had the most, let's say, or maybe funny situation, clumsy situation, or your last situation, maybe even today or yesterday, when a subpersonality came out. Do you notice when they come out? Do you notice when you're acting in the way that you don't want to act? Do you understand that acting in a way that doesn't bring you the results that you want is actually destroying your own energy and lifetime in wasting your time on the things that doesn't matter to you? And is this a topic that you want to dive deeper? Because there's a lot of interesting things, and yeah, and I can tell you that there's specific knowledge connected that, for example, in psychotherapy, to integrate one subpersonality can take you up to 3 years. But true spiritual masters and high-level shamans can actually integrate the subpersonality not in 3 years. That's about how many? 1,000 days? Let's say 1,000 days, yeah. And 1,000 days, it's about 24,000 hours, correct? Yeah, 24. And a spiritual master can integrate a subpersonality not in 24,000 hours. They can integrate it within half an hour. Yes, you heard correct, half an hour. So it's not 2 times faster, not even 10 times faster. You can calculate how much faster it is. But how and why? Well, if it's interested, let me know, and I'll see to share with you the secret or not. And please enjoy the week and think about how many subpersonalities you know inside of yourself. How you do detect them, and do you have names for them? And I hope that you got some fresh, interesting things to think about today. And I'm waiting for your support, your messages, your comments, and that gives me energy for creating something new. And thank you very much for everybody who is sending support. Recently, I got one of my very first buy me a coffee. Was very pleasant. Thank you very much. And yeah, and I will say that the new vibe is here, and I'll continue. And with interconnecting and knowing each other, we'll move on deeper and deeper. Thank you very much, darlings. In touch, and I worship the God within you. Namaste.